Please rise, join me in the pledge of allegiance, a moment of prayer, silence, shows your choice. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of March 1, 2021?
So move. I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve appropriations ordinance number 10?
I move we approve ordinance number 10. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Declare the public input session open for any items not on the agenda. Is there anything online? Yes, the bench, do you have anything?
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay, I have one thing I'd like to do, the Harvard thing, and you can see we've had 14 days in the orange and 2 days in the yellow. So I think that we at least can start a phased step down with the way that we are going here, and that is through the 6th. So it's fairly well caught up, and we're continue to move in the right direction. I know there were a lot of vaccines available on Saturday at the hospital and clinic, and I don't know how many people saw those emails and responded, but it looks like we're finally in the flow of being supplied with vaccines. So we're doing pretty good. Doing good, maybe not pretty. All right. And with that, I'll declare the public input session closed. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as distributed?
So move. I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, first item on it is a resolution 2102 economic development bond refinance, Kansas municipal utilities. Brad, do you like to say a few words up here? Tell us who you are, and we've been seeing your boss on
Yeah, you've got to catch him on the news, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm Brad Mears with Kansas Municipal Utilities, and we've been very fortunate in our ability to essentially refinance our bond issue to save a little money as we go forward on that project. So we've been in negotiations with our financial advisors and also the bondholder who had purchased all the bonds, and they are amenable to adjusting and amending our bond issue to bring the rate down a little bit. So that's what we're asking for today.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to adopt resolution 2102, a resolution of the governing body of the city of McPherson, Kansas, approving the form of supplemental bond agreement number 1 and amendment number 1, tax compliance agreement, amending and supplementing a certain bond agreement and tax compliance agreement entered into in connection with the issuance of by the city of its economic development revenue bond series 2015 Kansas Municipal Utilities Project, and authorizing certain other actions in connection thereof, and authorize the mayor to sign the resolution in all related documents.
I second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You're in business. Okay. Okay, now we'll call on the other end of the utilities, BPU. Tim Meyer.
Thanks, Mayor,
On
Commissioner.
Tim.
I'd kind of hoped to come to the meeting this morning and have a little more definitive answer in regards to energy costs, and what the consumers might see in their energy bills. We had a meeting Friday, or a Zoom meeting Friday, and they didn't have information yet. They're still waiting on some SPP charges to come in. And so they weren't able to get that to me. Just a The one thing I do know is 91% of our energy came from coal and wind. And so we have exposure on that 9% that's left. And so really that's what we're waiting on. If you look at energy consumption during February, it was up about 9% compared to January, just due to the colder weather. But again, I'm optimistic and hopeful that it won't be as bad as what people have seen in other communities, other areas. But our energy bill from Evergy, we actually receive that the third week of the month, the following month. So we'll get February's the third week of this month, and then we'll adjust the energy adder at that time. And so we should know some information. I've got another call tomorrow. Hopefully I'll know a little bit more then on these SPP settlement charges, but we'll try and keep the public informed of what we know. I want to make sure we get out factual information. So
Yeah.
kind of holding off on that.
Okay.
From a project perspective, we are going to start on Main Street again tomorrow. Contractor's supposed to be here. We'll do the saw cutting. And again, we're going to start on the east side in the 300 block just south of the tracks. And so we'll do that, that section. Then we'll move a block south. We'll see how things are going. If there's not a lot of events planned downtown, May Day activities, things like that, we'll move across the street. And then we'll do the west side and do those 2 blocks as well. And then we'll be complete. We already have brand new main from the south side of the tracks north all the way up to Subway. So it should put us in pretty good shape. Probably take us about a month per block. I think if things go well, 3 weeks, but somewhere in that neighborhood. So it'll be nice to see all that replaced. I'm sure the people down there will like seeing us leave, but hopefully it'll cut down on main breaks. It definitely should. It is one of our areas where we do have a fair amount of them. So I think it'll be a good investment in the community. That is one thing that's coming up. And then on the electric side, we continue to work in Garden Lane. I think we've got the 2 pad mount transformers are replaced, and now we need to do some primary work. We've got a couple secondaries to lower, but hopefully we're getting closer to the tail end of that. And still working in Eastmore, doing an overhead to underground conversion. And again, that's a multi-year project. We're going to be at that for a while. Kind of the hope is by the end of this year, we'll have everything done on the east side of Maxwell, and then we'll move over to the west side. But we'll just have to see. And then I think I mentioned it at a previous meeting, but we are converting some more streetlights on Dover and Ranch Road, putting in the new style LED, new poles, new conduit system, and adding a bond wire, which is really a safety enhancement. And really the kind of the norm today. It wasn't the norm in 1960 and 1970. So it'll be a good improvement going forward. But that project we tend to work on, we try and leave it so it's not an annoyance to the neighborhood, because we can bore the pipe in, get it below ground. But really when it gets wet and we can't work in the backyard, do things like that, then we try and go up there and kind of use that as a fallback task. So just to make you aware of that. So that's really all I've got this morning. I don't know if you gentlemen have any questions about anything else or.
No, we look forward to hearing the final shoe drop on
So do I.
costs, but
Yeah.
we know you're on top of it.
So do I. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Okay, now we'll hear from Michael Golden on the BPU Police Department agreement.
Morning, Mayor, Commissioners.
Morning.
Over the past couple of weeks, we've been discussing the expansion of the police department range. Tim has come up with an agreement between BPU and the McPherson Police Department, which is basically a continued contract. There's really no difference other than, the police department is still going to be responsible for controlling access to the property by all others, excluding BPU. The McPherson Police Department will be responsible for upkeep of the site, such as mowing, fence repair, and et cetera. The biggest part of this agreement is if the site is needed for expansion of the power plant, the McPherson Police Department will remove or modify facilities as necessary. So this is a continued agreement, just renewed for the expansion of the police department range. And so what I would ask for is a recommended action is to approve the agreement between the Board of Public Utilities and the McPherson Police Department for the expansion project at the shooting range located at BPU's Power Plant Number 3.
I'll move to approve the agreement between the Board of Public Utilities and McPherson Police Department for the expansion project at the shooting range located at BPU's Power Plant Number 3.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for allowing us to do that. We appreciate the cooperation. Okay. You could have, no, you couldn't, we already. All right, building inspection, Ryan.
Morning.
Morning, Ryan.
So I have your monthly building inspection report for the month of February 2021. Maybe. Okay. Residential units, which are new construction, are up 400%. Residential additions and remodels are down 18%. Residential other, which is general maintenance, water heaters, roofing permits, they are down 31%. Commercial new are down 75%. Commercial additions and remodels are down 75%. And the total of all permits are down 35% from this time last year. Year to date cost comparison, we're still quite a ways below the 3-year average. There just hasn't been any large projects so far this year. We're down on permits. We had 42 so far this year as compared to 65 this time last year. Total number of inspections, we have done 59 this year compared to 61 this time last year. And then just some project updates, Piping Technologies new building. They have all the footings and foundations in. There's a interior storm shelter that was placed, and they have started going up with some of the framing on the north side of that building. Edinburgh Manor Apartments, which is, they're basically just upgrading the units for ADA compliance, mostly the restroom areas. Work continues there. They're getting close to wrapping all that up. Johns Manville, they have started going vertical with some of their framing. There's not a ton of it, but there is some framing starting to go up out there. And then the Dollar Tree, they've got that building almost complete. The last timeline they gave me was to have the building complete by middle of March, turn it over to the owners, and then let the Dollar Tree do what they do to it, and then have it open by 1st of April. I think they're still on track for that, but again, that was a couple weeks ago that I was told that. So with that, that's all I've got, unless there's any questions.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Good job, Ryan. Okay, we'll move on to resolution to support the Deerfield Senior Homes. And are you going to do that, Nick?
Yeah, I will plan to go ahead and bring that. We did have Dave Osborne reach out to us. As you guys are aware, we had 2 applications for low-income housing tax credits. One being for the Deerfield Senior Homes Project, and one being for the McPherson Townhomes, which we brought a similar resolution for probably about a month ago. And we have, both of them have made it to the next step in consideration for low-income housing tax credit evaluation process. And what that means is that the state will actually come out and do a site review for those. And as a result, they've asked us to consider a similar resolution and approval of a utility letter as well, to allow them to submit to KHR, or Kansas Housing Resource Corporation, and this is an essential part of their process. We've attached both those documents for your review. We've had legal counsel review those. And I've also had the developer look at them and make sure that they follow what they will be providing as well. And at this point, we would go ahead and we'd go ahead and ask that the commission consider these resolutions. You will just as a note, we did talk about waiving some potential fees related to this project. And those can actually be seen in that resolution of support, what we discussed, potentially waiving. And if you're able to open that, you can see, we did talk about, for this particular project, up to $75,000 in city fees. We wrote it in such a way that it allows us to make the decision how those fees will be waived or how they'll be considered ultimately if that project is funded. And just as another point of just an update, if you look at this does expire a year from now. So if they do not get funded for the project, they'd have to come again and renew this resolution again in future years if they decided to come back and put in for this project again. So with that, staff just recommends we move forward on this.
I'd like the motion to adopt resolution number 21-03. It's a resolution of support for Deerfield Senior Homes Project. And authorize Mayor Thomas A. Brown to sign all related letters and documents to endorse the application. I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're down to fire department. Chief Weisman.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
I have 2 items for you this morning. Fire Department submitted a grant request from the McPherson County Community Foundation for carbon monoxide detectors. This resource was available from the state of Kansas and due to COVID-19 is no longer funded for community risk reduction. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that attacks the hemoglobin's red blood cells. Once the bond between carbon monoxide and hemoglobin occurs, the cell no longer carries oxygen to the body. Carbon monoxide will overwhelm a person's body, effectively not allowing the critical gas exchanges. Carbon monoxide can be found in homes for a variety of reasons, and most due to a failure of gas appliances. And we feel it's a vital service for our community. That's why we asked for this, and we wanted to say thank you to the McPherson County Community Foundation for the grant to allow this to continue. So request a motion to accept that donation for the carbon monoxide detectors from McPherson County Community Foundation, an amount of $1,050, and request a motion to approve the purchase of carbon monoxide detectors from various vendors for the amount not to exceed $1,050.
I move that we accept McPherson County Community Foundation grant for carbon monoxide detectors in the amount of $1,050. I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Also move to approve the purchase of carbon monoxide detectors from various vendors for an amount not to exceed $1,050. I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mhm.
The next item we have is the City of McPherson Fire Department's restoring the 1928 American LaFrance fire truck. All funds utilized for this restoration project are from donated funds and not from tax dollars. Several parts that require gold leaf scroll work have been taken to Colorado for final detail. Doug Klink is making progress through the final details on the body work. The motor repairs continue in progress, and machine work on components has been completed. We're requesting a motion today to approve the payment to KVR LLC for restoration repairs to the 1928 American LaFrance fire truck as part of the restoration for an amount not to exceed $1,507.54. There are some really neat pictures of Doug doing the scroll work and some of the layouts that he has and how they utilize the grafting paper to put those on the truck. So pretty neat pictures this week. We have seen quite a bit of progress, and it's going pretty well. So it's starting to look sharp.
I'll move to approve the payment to KVR LLC for restoration repairs 1928 American LaFrance fire truck as part of the restoration for amount not to exceed $1,507.54.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Planning and zoning. Morning,
Morning.
Virgil.
I have one item for you today. Lewiston Pace of 113 South Ash Street here in McPherson. Pursuant to section 10-103 of the city subdivision regulation is requested a vacation of 1,704 square feet of alley. Provided the legal description up on the screen. It's generally located at 200 East Kansas Avenue. For those unfamiliar, it's directly behind Stutzman's. We had a properly conducted hearing before the Planning Commission on March 2nd, as required under Kansas State, our KSA 12-504, et cetera. The Planning Commission has determined that no private rights will be injured or endangered by the vacation. The public would suffer no loss or inconvenience thereby. No written objection was filed with the city clerk by any owner or adjoining owner who would be proper party, and that in justice to the petitioner, the vacation ought to be granted. So with all of that said, the Planning Commission recommends that the vacation of the right-of-way be approved. So we're looking for a motion that would approve the vacation and authorize the mayor to sign.
I'll make a motion to order the vacation of the alley lying south of the adjacent to lots 1 through 6, except east 8.70 feet thereof, Maltaby's subdivision of lots 10, 11, and 12, block 77, McPherson, Kansas, containing 1,704 square feet, more or less, and subject to any easements or restrictions of record. Generally located at the 200 East Kansas Avenue, City of McPherson, McPherson County, Kansas, and authorize the mayor to sign the vacation order.
I'll second that.
Would you like to say something, Justin, on the need for this up here?
I can.
Yeah, come up.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to share a few things.
Yeah, tell us who you are.
I'm Justin Lowen. I'm the Executive Director of Blue Stem Pace. Excuse me. We've been at our current location there at 113 South Ash for just about 5 years. This August, we'll have the opportunity to celebrate our 5-year anniversary. We currently have grown to almost 60 employees, serving about 100 participants, assisting them to live at home as long as possible, to live safely and as independent as they can. What this really is a request for is for us to be able to extend our building that we currently have to the north. We are effectively landlocked right now on that property that we have. And I guess what we would like to be able to do is push directly out to the north, which would put us across that alleyway with that construction. So this vacation would allow us that opportunity. The reason we're looking to actually make it a contiguous building, just a continued flow of our building, is just the frail older adult population that we have. To have a second building that we would have to step across or even go outside just doesn't allow the workflow that we need, and just wouldn't be necessarily appropriate for the population we serve. So our request is simply that we have that building extended to the north as we look to expand in the near future, and have that opportunity with this vacation. I don't know if there's any additional questions.
No, thank you very much for the update. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. It's passed. Okay, we can move on to public lands and facilities.
Good morning.
Morning, Wayne.
First item I have is the water park. Staff is requesting commission to approve the 2021 water park startup and annual operations cost as presented by MRC staff last week in the amount not to exceed $70,460.
I'll make the motion to approve the 2021 water park startup and annual operation costs as presented for an amount not to exceed $70,460.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next one is I'd like to request commission to approve Adler Design of McPherson for the design and print of the 2021 Public Lands and Facilities Giving Guide for an amount not to exceed $1,508.18.
I'll make the motion to approve payment to Adler Design and Print LLC of McPherson for design and printing of the 2021 Public Lands and Facilities Giving Guide for an amount not to exceed $1,508.18.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next one is staff would like to request permission to purchase 5 new disc golf baskets for the newly renovated disc golf course at Lakeside Park. We have a total of 13 new baskets. The 5 additional baskets will complete the new 18 basket course at Lakeside Park.
And I'll make the motion to purchase 5 new disc golf baskets for the newly renovated disc golf course at Lakeside Park from Dynamic Disc of Emporia for an amount not to exceed $1,125.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And on that note, we are selling sponsorships for tee boxes, and we have sold our first 2 tee boxes for sponsorships.
Good.
The next one is after 20 years of range ball washer has failed at Turkey Creek Golf Course. Staff is recommending to replace the old ball washer with a Wittig 550G junior ball washer at a cost not to exceed $2,699.99.
I'll make the motion to purchase 150G junior ball washer from Whittick Golf for the Turkey Creek Golf Course for an amount not to exceed $2,699.99.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next one is related to Turkey Creek also. Each year, members pay a membership fee, and we are requesting permission to pay the annual handicap fees for the member golfers at Turkey Creek Golf Course for the 2021 season. We have 57 golfers with a GHIN handicap, and for amount not to exceed $1,445.
I'll make the motion to approve payment to Central Links Golf of Lenexa, Kansas for an annual GHIN handicap sanction fees for 57 member golfers for an amount not to exceed $1,445.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Public Lands and Facilities Department is in the process of hiring seasonal positions. Staff would like to recommend hiring the following: for the cemetery, Madison Dobson, and for Turkey Creek Golf Course as a cart and clubhouse, Samuel Becker.
I'll make the motion to approve making a conditional job offer to Samuel Becker, seasonal Turkey Creek Golf Course clubhouse employee, pending successful background check and additional testing, effective March 22nd, 2021.
I second.
Is dependent on winning in Abilene tonight. The condition. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. And I'll make the motion to approve making a conditional job offer to Madison Dobson as seasonal cemetery department employee, pending successful background check and additional testing, effective March 22nd, 2021.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Call on Jeff Woodward.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, Jeff.
First item is out of the wastewater treatment facility. With the declining numbers of the COVID-19 cases, we feel it's time to end the split shifts at the wastewater treatment facility.
I move that we approve ending the split shift of the wastewater employees effective today, 3/8/2021.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
My final item also at the wastewater treatment facility, polymers used at the wastewater treatment facility to chemically break the bond between sludge and water, allowing them to separate. This process is called flocculation. With a review we received a quote from SNF Polydene Incorporated to purchase 4 2,300-pound totes of cationic polymer at $1.64 a pound. Total cost $15,088 delivered. We receive a price break if we order at least 3 totes. Fort Bend Services is a company we have previously purchased polymer for years, and it was bought out by SNF Polydene Incorporated.
I move that we approve the purchase of 4 totes of cationic polymer from SNF Holodyne Incorporated for a cost not to exceed $15,088.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, and Nick Gregory for administrative report.
Okay, the first item I have for you, the McPherson City Commission is required to hold a public hearing to evaluate performance of providing public street and drainage improvements on the Chestnut Street project, which is part of the 2019 Community Development Block Grant Program for community or for public facilities. The public hearing will be held on March 15th at 8:45 during the regular city commission meeting. Anybody in the public wishing to speak and is welcome to do so at that meeting to make any comments about the project or concerns that they may bring forward. We will have a Zoom link that anybody, whether they want to come in person or be able to do it via Zoom, that they can contact the city office if they're wanting to make any comments related to that project. 620-245-2535. They can call and we will make arrangements to them to do it virtually if they choose to. The public hearing notice will also be placed on the city website today, announcing the meeting, and will be advertised on our social media as well. So at the conclusion of that, we will be able to request the final 2,000 and we'll be closed out with that grant. No action necessary, but just wanted to make that known. Kansas Emergency Rental Assistance Program has been announced by the state of Kansas. They're going to be making approximately $200 million statewide available for this program. Funds will be administered by the Kansas Housing Resource Corporation. They have not released all of the information as it pertains to this program yet. They plan to do that on March 15th. And actually, if you go to the Kansas Housing Resource Corporation website, you can sign up for email alerts that will tell you once they start releasing that information. But what I've been told by KHRC is that those funds will likely be made on a first come, first served basis. So if there's landlords or tenants that would like to apply for those funds, they will need to go directly through KHRC. And I would encourage any of our residents here in town to go out and sign up for that email. So once they've released all that information on March 15th, they will make it available for anybody to, they'll send out application or let you know when the applications are online. 200 million sounds like a lot of money, but when it comes down to it, I think they will burn through it fairly quickly with the needs that are out there. And so I just encourage everybody. We will also put that out on our website to let people know, and also on our social media to let people know that resource is out there. They won't apply through us, but we will do our best to keep our citizens informed as those funds become available. So that's more of an informational item. No action necessary today on that. Any questions on that? I'm basically providing all the information I was given. Like I said, after the 15th, we'll know quite a bit more. Bonds, we do have bonds today for consideration, just one, and that's the Phoenix Company Incorporated out of Wichita, $5,000 mechanical bond.
Move we approve the bond. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
There are 4 wages for your consideration today. The first 2 being existing employees, Colin Hoffner, Fire Department, firefighter, going from $15.90 to $15.54 per hour, effective March 8th. Landon Everett, Fire Department firefighter, going from $14.22 to $14.65, effective March 8th, 2021. Samuel Becker, Turkey Creek Golf Course seasonal, starting at $9.50 per hour, effective March 22nd. Madison Dobson, cemetery seasonal, going from starting at $9.50 per hour, effective March 22nd.
I move that we approve the wages. Our second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
There are 2 CDs for your consideration. They're both being placed with First Bank Kansas. They're both $1 million CDs at 12 months. Or 12-month CDs at 0.06% interest. They'll all mature on March 2nd of 2022. And just as a note, these CDs were both previously at 1.5% or 1.51% interest. So that's a significant drop as we've continued to see that trend.
I move we approve it. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I would like to move to recess city commission meeting, go into study session.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, we're back in regular session for city commission. I'd like to make a motion to open the doors with signs that says sign in and mask required. Close the doorways, unlock to the two hallways where the bulk of the people work, so that once they're signed in, released, they can still get into there. That's my motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes unanimously. Now I'd like to go back to the item that we discussed in study session of 3.2, the two variable frequency drives. And there is a motion there. If Commissioner Mel would like to make that motion.
Sure. I'll make the motion to approve the quote from Sergeant Drilling, Salina, Kansas, for two high-service VFD variance frequency drive pumps for the Turkey Creek Golf Course Pump House for a total cost not to exceed $31,803.56. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, city attorney, did I miss anything?
Got them both.
Man, unbelievable. I'd like to make one more motion that we adjourn.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We quit while we're ahead. Yeah.
Just as a point of discussion, the sales tax will come next week.